What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? And this week, Daniel Acevedo coming from his bat cave.
How's it going, guys?
What's going on? So, welcome to the podcast. If you have not already, please check out Monday's episode where we talk about all things to do with current CrowdStrike. So definitely check that one out. And there's a bonus episode out there with me and Elizabeth Stevens, also talking about CrowdStrike, kind of in the midst of it. So check that one out. It's a Ask a CISSP cross DPS cyber episode. And for the rest of the week, so Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays Ask a CISSP, and then Fridays everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. But without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this article comes from bleepingcomputer.com, written by Sergey Gatlin. And the title of it is Kaspersky is shutting down its business in the United States. All right. So Kaspersky, known about this for a while, right? Because when I was still actually active in the DoD, this is back in 2017, they said Kaspersky software will not be used on any DoD systems, right? Because of some things they were worried about, right? Which is the reason for this whole article and the reason for Kaspersky Labs shutting down their operations in the United States, right? So by the time you guys see this article, it will have already happened, or the process for it will have already happened, because they said it was on July 20th was when they're going to start doing it. But the U.S. Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, they sanctioned 12 Kaspersky Lab executives back in June, right, for operating in Russia's technology sector, right? So as anybody who's paying attention to the news right now, like Russia's one of those that we're hot on their tail, but like we're very cautious of them and what they're doing, right? So I'm surprised it took this long for them to get sanctioned by by the U.S. Treasury Department, right? Because like I said, back in 2017, the DoD was like, no, we have concerns about this, right? But yeah, they're the places that they've designated, right, as what do you call it? What is it? Something non gratis? What do you call that? It's the saying.
Man,
persona non grata, right? Persona non grata, is that right? Yeah.
John Wick right there. That's
why. non grata, whatever it is. But AO Kaspersky Lab, Triple O Kaspersky Group, Russia, and Kaspersky Labs Limited in the United Kingdom were added to the entity list, right? So U.S. businesses are prevented from conducting business with them, right? And this came out from the U.S. government. So this isn't just, okay, for the DoD, we're saying this is something we're not going to do. This is for the U.S. government saying, hey, nobody plays with these folks, right? So if you choose to do that on your own, you're going to assume all risk, like cybersecurity and all of that, right? And if you're working for the DoD, I imagine if you're working for the DoD and they find out that you are doing this, they're cutting ties or doing something to where like, hey, we can't mess with you anymore, right? So this was, again, 7 years down the road from when the DoD said, no, you can't do this anymore. Like I said, I'm surprised it took this long. But yeah, they're persona non grata, or whatever it is, right?
Sound good.
It's something like that. I know something like that where it's like, hey, don't play with these guys. You know what I mean? But Daniel, what's your thoughts on this, man?
No, yeah, I'm surprised that the U.S. is finally dropping the hammer, on another company. What was the other article that we talked about where we're cutting ties? Twitter, like the big thing with Twitter as well. A lot of these things are stemming from obviously what us, the general populace, doesn't know, but the intelligence community gathering information on these different foreign state entities, right? So it's not, I don't know if the U.S. does this or not, secret sec, we don't know these things, but it's as if the U.S. would be the sole ownership and controlling a software that goes on everybody's computer and being able to gather data on everybody's endpoints, right? Having a nation state that had to have that kind of control, any way, shape, or form, no matter what nation they are, is non-sat, right? So this is why the U.S. wants to cut ties with Kaspersky, because probably believe it has ties to bigger nation state controlling that information. Same thing with Twitter, pulling information and giving it to the Chinese government. So,
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. Not Twitter.
TikTok.
My bad.
I want Elon. I want the smoke Elon.
Yeah. I got my T's crossed. My bad. But yeah, Yeah, it's got to be that the U.S. has information out there that really points them in the direction, a true north to get rid of this, and I applaud them for it because usually the Department of Labor or the Department of Treasury has gone different ways with this kind of interaction with different nation states, especially if the nation states put money up to allow through certain things. I think the U.S. is finally starting to take a stance. They have enough intelligence from the intelligence community and they're pushing back. Those are my thoughts, Ryan. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. So please subscribe. Trying to hit 500 by, well, maybe by the end of the month, maybe though, because of all this CrowdStrike stuff. But 500 in the very near future, 1,000 by the end of the year is what we're going for. So please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share this with your nerdy friends. So we talked about Kaspersky, I want to say 2 or 3 times over the past 2 years or so. And yeah, finally it's a done deal. It's going to happen. They also said that the Department of Commerce, Bureau of Industry and Security, so the BIS, also banned the company from selling its software and delivering Kaspersky antivirus updates effective September 29th. So you can't even pull an update from them. That'll also be an issue. You'll have beef with the government if you do that as well. It just, in my opinion, it just makes sense, not because Kaspersky, I mean, this transcript will kick my butt later, is necessarily pushing bad stuff right now, but if someone from Russia were to go to HQ and put a gun in their head and say, push this spyware, they're probably going to do it, right? Yeah. So that's the same beef we have with TikTok. Like, yes, you might believe yourself to be independent, not beholden to your government, but at the end of the day, they couldn't do so. The same argument could be said about U.S. companies. I get that. So we're not trying to be necessarily biased towards our own country or what have you, but the slant is I would prefer for no one to listen to me or to eavesdrop on me. But if it's going to be somebody, some of my own people, as opposed to another nation state, right? If I had to pick my poison, I wouldn't want it. But if I had to pick one, I would rather it be us than them, in quotation marks. So it was bound to happen. But this definitely lays a blueprint for TikTok. Like, it's gonna happen. There's already precedent. Like, we did it with Kaspersky, we could do it with TikTok as well, unless they win the lawsuit, which I doubt it. Just the way the court systems are set up right now, I don't believe them to be able to overturn it. And neither am I rooting for them. At the end of the day, either you need to divest to a U.S. company so we have more of a stake within it, right? More of a say, or you got to go. So we're not. So that's kind of my slant on it. Like, yes, I'm not pro the government telling everyone what to do and all that other stuff. Like, I'm not big government. However, in the case of social media and just its ability to cause chaos and devastation, I want it to be U.S. based. Again, us versus them. So if I have to pick my poison. So you heard it here first, people. That's why TikTok does not share my videos. That's why I'm throttled. But it is what it is. All right. But yeah, so we did talk about it. It's finally come full circle. There may be more to come of this, but I doubt it. Like, to be honest with you, I think this is a done deal. That was the final nail in the coffin. And then as of September 29th, we'll never have to deal with it again unless you're running off end-of-life antivirus.
So to be honest, their U.S. operations weren't that large anyway. Like, in the article they reference, it's only about 50 people. You know what I mean? So if it's only about 50 people, that's maybe management that's going out and taking meetings, on their behalf or something like that. I doubt they have a large. Their presence that was that small wasn't people actually in here, hands on keyboard doing whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. There was a TV show. It keeps me reminding me of that. Like, I'm not trying to say they were doing anything nefarious, but those people that they had, the sleeper cell. Kaspersky. What was the one where they acted like they were Americans? Was it called The Americans or something like that?
Is that the Americans?
Yeah. That's why I envisioned their team of 50 is.
It was like not necessarily the same, but like Salt was kind of the same thing, right? Like the sleeper cells, right?
Yeah,
right. Angelina Jolie, like she was born Russian, and then they embedded her and the other guy.
I'm not saying any of this is happening. I just think it's funny commentary to go along with it, right? Like those hopefully those people land on their feet and they find new jobs for I don't know, McCaffrey or CrowdStrike.
But I think it'll set a precedent here soon. I think this is a trend we're going to start seeing with a lot of different software and companies wherever the intelligence starts trickling in. Here further out, so this will be another topic we'll probably hit in the near future, from 2024 on. Yeah. I mean, it really folds really well into supply chain management, risk management, third-party risk management, all those things that we talk about from a standpoint of disaster recovery, business
the business
Continuity.
things of that nature. Like it really folds in well when it comes to checking out your supply chain, where things are coming from. Like we're getting, like you said, we're getting more and more intentional with where our stuff is coming from. So I think it's a good thing. So I wholeheartedly agree. With that being said, thank you for listening. Definitely continue to tune in. Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays Ask a CISSP, and then Fridays everything else. So movies, books, games, all that good stuff. Hit up all the websites that go by our name, The Other Side of the Firewall, The Other Side of the FW, or Ask a CISSP. Check out the newsletter, which I know I've been late on. 2 weeks ago I was sick. Last week was ChatGPT caught in sick because of the because of the whole situation that was going on with CrowdStrike. So I'm back on the grind, people. So definitely check it out when it does come out, and then check out all the websites. So stay safe, stay secure.